Hi and welcome back to another video. It is a rainy day today, so you might be hearing some thunder, etc. But I thought I would film anyway because it is kind of soothing. I hope it will sound pretty soothing in the audio, but I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, today's video is not a bookish video, unfortunately. It's gonna be an advice type video. I realized that the last time that I did such a video, which was on the advice for young parents living with young adults living with their parents, it was quite well received. I think because a lot of people found themselves in that situation. It's quite a norm here in Singapore for a young adult to be living with their parents until they get married, but I realize that that's getting more common overseas as well, especially with the economy as it is today. It makes a lot more financial sense to stay with your parents, to save up some money. Anyway, today's video is gonna be about how to listen to yourself. And just to give a bit more context about that, this is something that I've realized for myself the past few months, which is that to help yourself, you have to listen to yourself. I think if you kind of resort to a lot of self-help books, or you start to listen to too many other people's experiences, you start to forget what you actually want. And so like, even if you're armed with all this knowledge and you're armed with all the skills and all the things you need, it might not really help in the end because you don't really know what you want. I think that's the number one lesson that I've been learning the past few months, is trying to figure out what I want. And now at this time I still don't know what I want, but I do think I'm a little bit better at figuring out how to listen to myself on a day-to-day basis. And that's what I want to talk about today. How do you build up this skill of being able to listen to yourself? And I've broken it down to 3 things, which is, I guess, very simplistic terms: your mind, your body, and your heart. Wow, such a dichotomous terms. But anyway, I thought that would just be easier because I've been using these practices in these different areas to help me, and let's just get into it. So yeah, the first category is your mind. And in order to know how your mind works, you have to listen to it pretty carefully, and how you do that is by writing. And I would say, just specifically about honing your writing skills, I don't think you need to be an excellent writer to be able to articulate your thoughts. I think what matters is that you write it down and you're able to tell yourself, or to repeat to yourself, what are the thoughts that are happening in your head at that present moment. So journaling often, doing writing prompts, it helps you realize what kind of thought patterns you hold on to realize what are your strengths and your weaknesses, what beliefs that you hold on to on a daily basis. The types of I would say it's just really important to know what you are thinking on a day-to-day basis. I've met people who are quite sure of who they are at that present moment, but they tend to let go of that pretty easily. So if you speak to them at that time, they're pretty convinced and of their own kind of thoughts, but if you ask them a week later, they might not be able to articulate what they thought pretty strongly then. And there are also people who are just really so confused, they're just confused and they're angry because they have this feeling of knowing deep down what they really want, but they can't articulate it. And I think it starts from the small things. If you can articulate really small things like, today, this is what I'm thinking, this is what's affecting me, and then it will help in your bigger picture. It will really help. So for this, I would recommend daily journaling, which is what I do. I spend about 2 pages worth of free writing in the morning. But I also do targeted prompts sometimes, and you can Google this. You can search for shadow work journal prompts. You can search for any sort of journal prompts that will help you in that. I really strongly believe in writing as a form of knowing your mind, really. The second thing that I want to really emphasize, I know a lot of people don't really do this, is to listen to your body. And now I strongly believe that in today's society we're often kind of isolated from our bodies, even though like our body is the vehicle that we have to be in, you know, regardless. You can't really swap your body much. You know, you can train it, you can do things with it, but it's pretty much what you get, you know. And I think your body, everyone's body is like holds a lot of wisdom, and it's very instinctive. Like your body immediately knows what is good for you and what's not good for you, and I believe in kind of learning how to listen to it. So I would recommend doing a lot of, you know, physical exercise that's not just exercise but really mindful exercises. So this could be in the form of mindfulness exercises like body scans, or you could do yoga or pilates. I don't do that, but for myself I do a lot of improvisational dancing, a lot of improvisational movement. I let my body lead me, and it really teaches me a lot. I mean, there are moments where I felt really uncomfortable, but my body was creating this safe space for myself, and then my mind was put at ease. And I think if you have this spatial awareness, you would feel a lot more confident in your body, you would know how to draw your boundaries a bit better, and it's just overall a really good feeling when your body is aligned with who you are. And I think this is something that not a lot of people emphasize, because unfortunately we tend to treat our bodies as though they are things to be tamed, trained to our liking. We tend to treat our bodies as like this separate entity from us, but I don't really have that mentality. I do think that your body is, you know, like is a part of you that you have to nurture and you have to pay attention to. And to, I think it's really about boundaries, like knowing what is comfortable for you when your body allows you to push ahead of your comfort zone. All these things you learn from the way that you interact with the world in your physical body. So I think being able to listen to your body really teaches you a lot about boundaries, really teaches you a lot about what is your instinctive feeling towards things. And that's why, like, you know, you see a lot of people when they have a heightened sense of spatial awareness, that it tends to translate into a better sense of like intangible boundaries, and I can sort of see the relation. I don't know whether there's any scientific proof of this, but it's normally the case that really translates to more things than just your physical needs. Yeah, so that's the second category of framework, which is listening to your body. And I would recommend that through mindfulness-based physical exercises. Really, there's a lot of prompts that you can use online as well, but for me, I do a lot of improvisational movement, and you don't need to be an expert in dancing. You don't need to know how to move. You just have to let your body lead, and pay attention to how it moves. I think that's enough. So the last category that I have is the heart. So now you know what your mind is thinking, now you know how your body is moving, but what do you actually want in your heart and your life in general? And I know I sound so preachy because honestly I'm still on this path myself. I'm still learning so much. But this is an area that I've been kind of trying to incorporate into my life, which is more of the spiritual realm, more of the bigger than myself category, you know, understanding what are my desires that I want to bring across with the, you know, with the deeper understanding of myself. And how I have been doing that is through some practices like tarot reading, through kind of more of like, you know, oracle cards, through meditation, really things that help you what's it called, access the deepest parts of yourself. And I would call this like, you know, you can also speak to friends and have deeper conversations with them about who you are as a person and what your strengths are, where your beauty lies, where your strengths lie. And I think all of that is really important, to know where your heart would bring you towards. And okay, it sounds really like fancy dancy, but like honestly it's really very true. There's no point being an intellectual, being a completely spatially spatially intelligent person if you don't have like a purpose or an aim to move towards, and you don't have this clarity of your spirit, like who you are as a person, mind, body, and beyond combined. So for me, that takes the form of a lot of spiritual practices, which include a whole range of things, a whole range of contemplation, tarot cards, a bit of readings, like like a bit more of like delving deeper into that, like different philosophies and different religious thoughts, and that has been really helpful in general for that spiritual realm. But I'm still learning a lot about that, but I want to put this category into this video because I felt like it is really, really important to have that spiritual aspect to your life. And it can take any form. What matters is that it speaks to you and it allows you to see yourself with a clarity that you wouldn't be able to in just like the first two categories alone. I hope that kind of makes sense. Sorry for the third category, I don't really have very like clear prompts for you, but I do think that's really an individual practice. So what works for me might not really work for you. So I will link down below certain videos and resources that have been really helpful for me in this journey, both in the kind of like mind and spiritual realm. At least for the body realm, I've been doing a lot of my own self reflection and experimentation. So I do think that experimentation is a big part of this whole process as well. So anyway, that's the end of my video. I hope that it's a pretty interesting one. It's not very bookish, but I do think that reading has helped me a lot in that journey. It has helped me kind of bring all these ideas together, synthesize them in my life, and to find real life applications for these things. Like for the body part, I've been reading about trauma and how that resides in the body, and I think that's very true. I think a lot of trauma actually does reside in your physical body, and so being able to recognize that is really a very liberating experience, and is one step into your healing journey. So thanks so much for staying to the end if you did. And it's just this video has just been in my head for like the longest time, for the past few months, because it's a huge part of my life now. But cool, thanks for watching, and if this video was helpful, do comment down below like how you found it and things like that. And I hope you're having a good day. If not, then I hope you're having a fantastic day tomorrow. You will have a fantastic day tomorrow, but nonetheless, I wish you the very best, and I hope that you are feeling safe wherever you are, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much, and bye.